So the inspiration behind this next video. So I was scrolling randomly through TikTok, and I constantly see these videos coming up of a teacher reading real emails that he got from his students' parents. And we're just gonna get your popcorn, sit back, relax, and let's enjoy looking at how some of these parents think and how some of the parents act and how they email their child's teacher. Enjoy.
Emails that I've gotten from parents. Part 1. Here we go. Up first. Hi. We noticed Mason has been bringing home homework. We're trying to protect his mental health and family time, so we don't really do homework in our house. Is there any way he can still get full credit without completing it? Thanks for understanding. Mason's mom.
The parent wants the kid to receive full credit even though the kid did 0 of the work. Furthermore, the parent wants the kid to never receive homework. Yeah, that's where we're at here.
Next one. Good morning. Emma was late because it was raining and she doesn't like the rain. It really affects her mood. Please mark her present but not late. Blessings. Emma's dad.
Now we are supposed to mark kids present even when they are late. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. Nope, we're not doing that. If you're late, you're marked late. And I think the bigger problem here is your kid is afraid of the rain. You as a parent need to stop letting your kid run the show. And they're gonna go outside in the rain. The rain is not gonna hurt your child. The rain is not gonna hurt your precious baby. Grow a backbone.
Next one. Hello. I received your message about Tyler talking during class. I just want to say Tyler does not talk at home unless spoken to, so I'm confident there's been a misunderstanding. Please investigate further. Concerned parent.
Really, parent? Do you think your teacher has nothing better to do with his day than to just randomly email you about your son's misbehavior that you claim doesn't exist? You're not the one with your kid. You don't watch your kid at school. You don't have a camera on his head. Actually, I shouldn't be giving you that idea because you helicopter parents might put a camera on your kid's head. But no. Your kid misbehaved. Your kid was talkative when he shouldn't have been talking. The teacher emailed you about that issue. And you just completely act like the teacher is full of it. The teacher is full of crap. The teacher is making stuff up. The teachers are not making stuff up to make their life harder. Okay? That's just not happening.
Next one. Hi. I saw that Olivia has a 72. We were hoping for at least a 90. Is there anything we can do to adjust that? We feel like a B better reflects her potential. Let me know what paperwork I need to fill out. Olivia's mom.
Here's something Olivia can do to improve her grade. It's called studying. Getting a better test score, getting a better quiz score, getting a better score on the homework. And I love how they said, doesn't reflect the full potential. Shut the hell up. You are not given a grade. You earn the grade that you get. And if you're doing 72 quality work and not answering questions correctly, that's the grade you're going to get. You don't poof and the grade just exists. Crack a book.
Up first. Hello. Jaden's Chromebook died last Thursday and hasn't turned back on since. He also forgot his charger at school, and his friend borrowed it. That's why nothing has been turned in for 3 weeks. Thank you for your grace, Jaden's parent.
Typical irresponsible child here. First of all, doesn't charge his Chromebook. Okay, so the way things work is you should charge your devices every single night when you go to bed. That is like the normal common thing. Left his charger somewhere. Okay, buy a new charger. There's or bring the charger home. Or 3 weeks of not turning in assignments. I'm sorry. This video is gonna be long.
Next one. Sent at 2:14 a.m.
Really? You sent a teacher an email at 2:14 a.m. and you expected a response. Ah, my word. Most people are asleep at 2:14 a.m. Just saying. I had to stop the clip and just point out that.
No subject. Why is my child failing? Question mark.
That couldn't have waited until morning. And let me tell you why your child, your precious little angel, is failing. He is getting questions wrong on a test, quiz, or homework assignment, or just straight up is not doing said assignment. That's why your child is failing.
Sent from iPhone. Next one. Hi. Samantha won't be at school today. She woke up at 6:43 a.m., said her throat felt weird, but not weird. Then ate half a waffle, then decided she was tired again. Just keeping you in the loop. Sam's mom.
You felt tired. You let your kid run the show. Your tired kid went back to bed, so now he's not showing up to school. Helicopter parenting, coddling your children. Man,
Next one. Hi. Braden studied for almost 20 minutes for this test and still made a 58. We're wondering what happened during your instruction.
Yep, here's a classic. My son failed the test, and let me blame the teacher and their inapt teaching. This is a joke. These emails that this poor teacher is getting are hilarious. We'll keep going.
Braden's dad. Next one. Hello. We just realized the 3-week research project is due tomorrow. Is there any chance you could extend that? We had a very busy weekend. Thanks in advance. Ryan's mom.
3-week research project. Oh, it's due tomorrow. If your child cannot meet deadlines, that is something that you as a parent should teach your child to do, first of all. This project should have been done 2.5 weeks ago. Typically, when I was in school, I would be given a long-term project. I would have that thing done a couple days after it was assigned, not wait till the last minute. But, you know.
Next one. Hi. Can you make sure Ava sits next to her friends, but not the ones who talk? And also near the front, but not too close because she gets nervous? Appreciate you. Ava's mom.
I keep scratching my head. If your child sits near their friend, they are both going to talk more. I could never be a teacher. I would lose my patience with these people.
Up first. Hello. Josh told me he absolutely turned in his project last Friday and that you must have misplaced it. He worked very hard on it. In parentheses, I didn't see it, but he said he did. Close parentheses. Can you double check your desk, your car, and maybe the other class's stacks? Thank you so much. Sincerely, a concerned mom.
Number 1, kids lie. I'll just leave it at that. Number 2, again, your child is in the wrong here. Your child misplaced his assignment because of carelessness. And you want to make that the teacher's problem. Oh, you must have lost it, teacher. You are the problem.
Next one. 11:47 p.m.
Another one of these late night ones. Oh, this should be good.
Subject, urgent question. Hi, Emma just told me there's a test tomorrow. She didn't mention this until 11:45 p.m. Can you send me a study guide ASAP? We are both stressed. Thank you, Miss Thompson.
Teacher is probably sleeping at 11:40 something p.m. And I wouldn't. I mean, last minute, really, last possible minute, 11:45. Oh, there's a test tomorrow. What? Like, seriously, your kid's time management is really horrible. I'm not gonna sugarcoat things. I'm not gonna self-censor myself. Your kid is terrible.
Next one. Coach Phillips. Madison is planning to play in college, so I'm confused why she isn't getting more playing time, extra credit, leadership roles. She's very talented and also sensitive, so please be mindful of her confidence. We just don't want this affecting her scholarship opportunities. Thanks, Dad.
I'm going to say something that probably would have got this teacher fired, but I don't care. I'm going to say it because it needs to be said. Your child is not special. Odds are, more than likely, your child is not going to be a D1 athlete. The world does not revolve around your child. The teacher is doing his best to accommodate needs, but I'm talking real needs, not the babying and pampering and helicopter parenting that we've seen so far in this video. And we've got a whole nother half to go. So let's do it.
Next one. Hi. Logan said he couldn't turn in his assignment because Canvas wasn't working. He also said the Wi-Fi was down from 4 p.m. until 10:30 p.m. while he was on Xbox. Is there another way he can submit it late? ? Appreciate it, Miss Green.
Another thing that probably would get this teacher fired. I'm going to be honest. Your son is a liar. If he is online playing Xbox, your words, not mine, the internet is working just fine, and he should have been able to submit his assignment on time. Now, if I was this teacher, you'd get a 0. That is not a valid excuse. I assigned this. I gave you a deadline. You failed to meet the deadline. The assignment is a 0. But, nowadays, we've got teachers that are not allowed to be this strict. Because if they were this strict, the kids would fail. All the poor children. And that's just creating a bunch of idiots in
Up
society.
first. Subject, it's cold. Hello. It was 38 degrees this morning, and my son said you still made them walk from the high school to the weight room. Is there a heated transportation option? Concerned, Mom.
A heated transportation option to go from one part of the building to the other. No, there's not. Your child, again, your child needs to grow a backbone, man up, and not be so damn soft. Scared of the cold. 38 degrees, frankly, ain't even that cold. That's warm. And what do you not want your kid to experience cold weather? Maybe move to Florida. Because that's just a part of life. Cold weather is a part of life.
Next one. Subject, a few thoughts. Hi, I've taken some time to reflect and wanted to share a few concerns. See below. 1. The seating chart seems emotionally restrictive. 2. The lighting in the classroom feels aggressive. 3. My daughter said you looked disappointed. She is very perceptive. We are simply advocating for a more nurturing environment. I have CC'd the counselor, assistant principal, and my sister who homeschools.
That one is so disgusting and cringe, I don't even know how to respond to that. Quit telling me how to do my damn job. I'm a teacher. I went to college. I got a degree on this. Let me do my job. These helicopter parents. Oh my God, I can't stand these people.
Warmly, parent. Next one. Subject, yesterday's behavior. Good afternoon. I understand Mason fell asleep in class. I'd like to provide context. He had football practice, youth group, 2 snacks, and stayed up until 1:30 a.m. thinking. Exhaustion is not defiance, it is growth. Thank you for understanding his journey. Blessings, Mom.
It is your responsibility as a parent to get your kid to bed at a reasonable hour. 1 a.m. is not said hour. Damn. Oh man, we are doomed. I mean, this entire video, I'm not even all the way through, but we are doomed with these helicopter parents that coddle and baby their children. It needs to end. I don't even know how these people, when they become adults. Oh, by the way, this is a high school teacher. These are high school students. We are doomed.
Next one. Subject, playing time and exposure. Coach, we are trusting the process, but also questioning it. Olivia has been visualizing a Division I scholarship since she was 6. Reduced minutes may interrupt that manifestation. We believe in positive opportunity alignment. Let's schedule a meeting.
This is just a repeat of what I said earlier. You're not a D1, baby.
Emails that I've gotten from parents, part 5. Up first. Subject, public humiliation. Hi. Ethan said you asked him to put his Chromebook away in front of everyone. He felt singled out and publicly targeted. He was emailing me. Please be more discreet when enforcing rules. Best, Mom.
That's another one. Yeah, publicly humiliated. Yeah, maybe because you were doing something that you, ergo, weren't supposed to be doing. You wouldn't be publicly humiliated if you weren't doing something you weren't supposed to. That's what happens when you do something that you're not supposed to be doing. The teacher calls you out. And the parent was even funnier. Oh, he was emailing me. Okay, why are you the parent in communication with your... I mean, back in the day, the only time that a parent would speak to their children is before or after school. Or God forbid the kid did something wrong, then the kid would have to call home and they'd be like, "Hey, Dad, I did this." That would usually come with a beating.
Next one. Subject, group project concerns. Hi. Avery mentioned her group members didn't do their share. As you know, she naturally assumes leadership roles. Is there a way she can receive additional credit for carrying the team emotionally? Thank you for recognizing her strengths. Sincerely, proud parent.
No, this is not a communist system. Your kid did all the work. Well, I feel bad that your kid did all the work and the other two did nothing, but your kid doesn't get extra credit because the other two were lazy.
Next one. Hello. I've noticed that whenever Jackson forgets something, he receives a consequence. This feels targeted. Other students forget things too, in parentheses, according to Jackson. Please explain this pattern. Respectfully, Karen.
Actions have consequences. That's about as simple as that one gets. Actions have consequences. And if you can't take the consequence, don't do the action. Targeted. Oh, please. Fitting her name is Karen.
Next one. This one, actually crazy. Good afternoon. As taxpayers, we simply want to ensure our contributions are resulting in a positive academic experience for Elizabeth. Currently, she has a C. We would appreciate clarification on how our taxes align with this grade. Thank you, parent.
This is giving me gray hair. Good grief. Yeah, you being a taxpayer has nothing to do with anything. We all pay school tax. Actually, most people pay school tax. If you own property. Yeah, that your child has a C because that's, again, grades are earned. Grades are earned, not given.
Emails that I've gotten from parents, part 6. Up first. Hi, Mr. Phillips. My daughter mentioned you're her new teacher. She said you look like someone who still uses DoorDash. Just confirming you've completed college and are not part of a mentorship program. Also, how many years of life experience do you have? Sincerely, Emma's mother.
Okay, I don't think he'd be in his position as a teacher if he didn't graduate college. I believe all... Don't quote me on this. I might be wrong. I have not looked into the teaching profession, but I'm just assuming that every single teacher across the United States has a college degree. I believe that is a requirement to get to be a teacher. And years of experience, you mean age. And that is none of your business.
Next one. Subject, quick chat. Mr. Phillips, I heard you moved my son's seat for talking. Before we go rearranging furniture, I'd like to understand your reasoning. I coach middle school football, so I know how boys are. Sometimes they need to express themselves. Let me know when you're free. I'm available after 6. John's dad.
Making an issue out of a non-issue. That's exactly what this is. Making an issue out of a non-issue. Your child's seat was moved because he was talking to his friend. It's that simple. He was talking to his friend. I asked him numerous times to stop. He failed to stop. So I moved his seat so that to take away that temptation of talking. But yet, yeah, we have to make an issue out of a non-issue. Teachers aren't allowed to discipline kids.
Next one. Coach Phillips, Chase received a B on his project. I reviewed it. It was clearly A-level work. What rubric are you using? And how long have you been teaching this subject? I assume this is just an oversight due to inexperience. Please correct. Chase's father.
Is Chase's father versed on the material that his son is being taught? Is Chase's father have a teaching degree? Seriously? We have parents... Of course the parent is going to overgrade and give their kid a higher grade than what is warranted. Because the parent is biased.
Emails that I've gotten from parents. Part 7. Up first. Subject, history lesson concerns. Mr. Phillips, my daughter mentioned you are teaching about the Great Depression. While we understand history is important, I would prefer she focus on more positive parts of American history. She came home somber. We try to keep things uplifting in our household. Can you provide a syllabus of upcoming topics so we can prepare emotionally? Thank you. Danielle.
I think you need to prepare your kid for life. Because life is not all sunshine and rainbows and happiness. Bad stuff happens every single day. And you can't just curl up in a corner and be somber about it. Grow up. Great Depression, wars. We've been through a lot as a country in our 250 years. And it all needs to be taught, and we need to remember our history so that it doesn't get repeated.
Next one. Subject, missing assignments. Coach Phillips, Ethan's 0 on the Civil War project seems harsh considering baseball season just started. As you know, travel ball is very demanding. Could the deadline be extended? He plans to major in sports management, so memorizing reconstruction details may not be relevant for his future. Please advise. Thanks, Todd.
Todd, your kid needs to hit a book and not a baseball. Actually, I could probably do both, but yeah.
Next one. Hi, Mr. Phillips. Olivia showed me your comment that Wikipedia cannot be used as a primary source. We use Wikipedia at my office regularly, and it seems very thorough. I'm confused why it's not acceptable for a 10th grade paper. Please explain. Best.
Let me tell you why Wikipedia cannot be used for a research paper. And that simply comes down to the fact that Wikipedia is written by me and you, and anyone can go and contribute to a Wikipedia page. And it's not verified. I mean, people can spread conspiracy theories, people can spread falsehoods on that as well. So that's why Wikipedia cannot be used, because it could be somebody else's gibberish.
Up first, subject, history isn't math. Mr. Phillips, a 78 on the essay seems subjective. History is based on interpretation. So how can an answer be wrong? My son said you wrote, needs more evidence. He felt his feelings about the French Revolution were strong and passionate. Is passion not considered evidence? Please clarify. Mom.
Yeah, well, history is part interpretation. That is true. But history is also part fact. Certain things are concrete and true, and you can't change fact.
Next one. These are actually my favorite, like my personal favorite. Email sent at 1:17 a.m.
The third one of these, really? All right, go to bed.
Subject, urgent. Why is my son failing? He said he turned everything in. I just checked Power School and he has a 54. Please call me tomorrow. Early. Sent from iPhone.
Maybe ask your kid. Oh, wait, he lied to you and said he turned everything in. Yeah, he didn't turn everything in, or his grade wouldn't be a 54. Man, I went through high school, and to be honest, I didn't think it was really that hard. It was actually pretty easy. You just had to sit in class, listen to what the teacher was saying, take basic notes, or not, and do the stuff, and you would basically pass. I mean, it wasn't really that hard, but yet these kids' problem is real simple, and it is laziness. Laziness. And their parent backs them up and supports them. Instead of backing your kid up and supporting them, you need to put your kid in his place and get him to pass the class on his own.
Next one. Hey, Coach Phillips. Sophia has missed a few classes because she wasn't feeling history this week. We're working on motivation at home. Is there a way she can make up the Cold War quiz she skipped? Appreciate you. Mom.
Wasn't feeling history. That's a hell of a reason to skip a class. But you skipped a class, so any work that was missed, unexcused absence, therefore that works a 0. You don't like it? Tough. Should have went to class.
First. Hi, Mr. Phillips. Apparently my child turned in their assignment. They're 100% sure. They remember walking up there. They definitely handed it to you. Before I open a full investigation at home, can you confirm whether it made it to your desk? Thank you for all you do. We appreciate you more than you know. Best, Detective Dad.
So you don't even know if the paper made it to the teacher's desk. You're accusing the teacher. You're bothering and bugging and pestering the teacher. Ultimately because your kid is irresponsible and probably didn't turn in his work. But he says he did because, you know, kids don't lie. And you have the audacity and the gall to blame the teacher, again, for your irresponsible child.
Next one, subject clarification. Coach Phillips, my child informed me that they received that grade because the assignment was optional. I suspect optional may have meant optional if you don't want a good grade. Just wanted to double check so I can make sure we're all speaking the same language at home. Thanks for everything. Sincerely, parent who has questions.
Yes, teachers just give out work for the sake of giving out work. It doesn't count. You don't need to do it. The teacher's just giving it out to give you something to do because you looked bored. Bro, what kind of excuse logic is that? The teachers are not going to take time out of their day to make up a worksheet that you don't have to do. That's optional. No, if the teacher makes it up and takes the time and effort to make it up and gives it to you, it counts for a grade.
Next one. This one, actually great. Subject, about today, ... Hey, Coach Phillips, just a heads up. My child had sugar, stayed up slightly past his bedtime, and believes today is basically Friday. If he is extra chatty, overly confident, or auditioning for class comedian, I apologize in advance. You deserve hazard pay. Gratefully, a fully aware parent.
Oh my word, we actually have a good one. That's a great email right there. I was beginning to lose faith in humanity and society. Frankly, actually, no, I still don't have faith in humanity, but that is a A+ email right there.
Emails that I've gotten from parents, part 10. Up first, subject, concern about today. Hi, Coach. I was surprised to hear that my child was talking during instruction. At home, they are quiet. Is it possible they were simply helping lead the class discussion in an enthusiastic way? Look forward to clarifying this misunderstanding. Warmly, Mom.
Maybe they don't talk because you're never around. Just gonna throw that out there. But oh, he was leading the classroom in an enthusiastic way. Bro, it is not your child's responsibility to teach the class. That is the teacher's job. It is the teacher's job to lead, not your child. The teacher is a hell of a lot smarter than your precious little angel.
Next one, subject, possible grading error. Hi, Mr. Phillips. My child received a C on the recent test, which doesn't seem aligned with the fact that they felt really good about it. They studied very hard. Could we review this grade together? I just want to ensure their effort is being fully recognized. Thank you so much. Concerned Mom.
Effort doesn't matter. I hate to say it, but effort doesn't matter. If you got the answer wrong, you got the answer wrong. If you don't know the material, you don't know the material.
Next one, subject, classroom interaction. Coach Phillips, my child mentioned feeling called out in class when you reminded them about missing work. They are very sensitive and thrive best in affirming environments. In the future, would it be possible to use a different method of accountability? I appreciate your understanding. Mellow Mom.
The hint, he announced this in front of everybody, in front of the whole class. And he basically, he wasn't calling your kid out, but he was hinting. He was trying to drop a hint without being, hey, you need to turn in your late work. He could have made an example out of your son. He could have said, oh, you right there, Billy Smith, need to turn in your late work. But he didn't want to embarrass him in front of the whole class. He wanted to be a little more gentle, a little more kind. And so he did a reminder to the whole class. But that's still not enough for your coddling ass. Frankly, I wouldn't beat around the bush. I would point out, like, you need to turn in your work. You need to turn in your work. And I'd call him out by name in front of everybody. I'd let the whole damn class know that your son failed to meet a deadline.
Emails that I've gotten from parents, part 11. Up first, subject, participation clarification. Hi, Coach Philly. I noticed my child's participation grade isn't as high as expected. They participate internally quite a bit. Is there a way to measure quiet excellence? Sincerely, Mom.
Quiet participation. What? What are you talking about? Quiet participation. That doesn't even exist. You're just making stuff up at this point. Either you're participating vocally and talking about whatever the topic is and discussing it, actively participating, or you're just sitting there not participating. Your child is lazy and doesn't participate, and his grade reflects that.
Next one. Subject, group project concern. Coach Phillips, my child shared that their group didn't listen to their ideas. They are a natural leader and sometimes others struggle to keep up. Would it be possible for them to work independently next time to ensure their full brilliance shines? Thank you kindly, Mom.
Group projects are done for a reason. It is to teach teamwork and compromise. Your child needs to compromise a little bit. Maybe his ideas didn't gel well with the others, but no, your child cannot work by himself. Not everything in life is done by yourself. Sometimes you have to work as a team.
Next one. Subject, assignment timing. Hi, Mr. Phillips. I understand the assignment was marked late. However, my child works best under emotional readiness, not arbitrary time constraints. Is there flexibility for students who operate on a more intuitive timeline? Warm regards, Mom.
Meeting deadlines is something that your child is going to need to know to function in the real world. And a lot of these clips have been about that. People unable to meet deadlines. How are you going to function in the real world? Are you going to... That's why a lot of these people get behind in rent, because they just... I'm just going to float. I'll give it to them whenever. Deadline don't mean nothing.
These are either going to make you shake your head or you're going to bust out laughing. Here we go. Up first. Dear Mr. Phillips, Ethan said the class went outside today and that it was windy. I checked the weather app and winds were reported at 7 miles per hour. I'm just wondering what the threshold for too breezy is. Ethan's hair was noticeably displaced when he came home, and this caused him significant emotional turbulence. Looking forward to your clarification on wind policy. Sincerely, Dad.
I don't know what's sadder, the context of this email or the fact that it came from a dad. That dad is a bitch. Wind policy. So earlier we had a kid that was too soft for the cold. Now we have a kid that is too soft for the wind. Well, wind is a part of life. Yeah, it's not ideal, but you got to deal with it. And that's my message to a lot of the kids in a lot of these videos. You got to deal with it. There's some things in life you just got to deal with, and wind is one of them. Oh, my hair is a little messed up. Oh, getting quote unquote emotionally turbulent over your hair being messed up is ridiculous. Your hair doesn't freaking matter, unless you're gay. But you're not a female, so your looks really doesn't matter. You should look presentable, but oh, my hair is a little off. No. Anyway. This is beyond crazy. Wind threshold. I think most blue-collar, hardworking guys work outside. Yeah, we work in like 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 mile an hour winds. So your little 7, that's cute.
Next one. Good evening, Coach Phillips. Sophia mentioned she received a great job sticker, while another student received a superstar sticker. Is there a rubric that differentiates these two honors? Sophia is concerned that she may be operating at only 87% superstar capacity. Please advise on how we can elevate her sticker trajectory. Best regards, Mom.
His sassy attitude there was perfect. This reminds me of two girls fighting over who's better. I'm better than you. This is so old. Like, really, you've got nothing better to do than to complain and gripe that your sticker wasn't good enough. We are doomed.
Next one. Coach Phillips, Noah has been seated next to a child who hums occasionally. Hum, hum. While I respect diverse humming styles, Noah finds this acoustically distracting. Would it be possible to relocate him to a non-humming zone? Non-humming zone? If helpful, we can provide documentation for his condition. Thank you for your partnership and Noah's academic serenity. Kindly, Motivated Mom.
I think we all hum occasionally. I think that is a totally normal thing. That child that is humming is being disruptive. It is normal to be repulsed by and distracted by somebody. This isn't a medical thing. You don't need a doctor's note. Look, if I'm sitting there trying to do my work and this guy's over here making noise, that's going to be distracting. That is natural. That is normal. I don't need a doctor's note. The classroom is supposed to be a non-humming zone. The problem here is the child that is humming. I think we could both agree on that. But next time that child is humming, this doesn't need to be in an email. The child that is distracted and disturbed, simply he needs to walk up to the teacher and say, hey, this guy is distracting me, he's disturbing, he's humming. And ultimately, at the end of the day, the teacher will deal with it. Or you just need to grow the fuck up. If you get distracted by a little humming because it's off key, that is pretty pathetic.
Emails that I've gotten from parents, part 13. Listen, I have 2 for you today, and I'm about to blow your mind. Here we go. Up first. Subject, submission issue. Hi, Coach Phillips. The assignment didn't upload because my child became overwhelmed with the submission process. Technology can be very stressful. Is it possible for you to accept a screenshot of their intention to submit? Thank you for your compassion, Mom.
No. That's simple. No.
Next one. Subject, classroom/school policy. Coach Phillips, my child mentioned phones must be put away during the school day because of a school and state policy. While we understand some policies, this one we disagree with. Phones are an important emotional support tool. Is there a compromise that allows for occasional comfort scrolling? Best, Mom.
Yes. Yes, there is. Your child has special permission from the state government. He and he alone can be on his phone anytime he damn well pleases. Because your child is special and the rules don't apply to him.
Up first, subject, question about grades. Dear Mr. Phillips, I noticed that my daughter received a B on the test. I'm sure you graded it fairly, but I do hope that her effort was fully recognized. After all, we all know how much she studies at home, unlike other students. ... Warm regards, a concerned parent.
And there it is. The attitude that majority of these parents have. My child is better than yours. My child is a sweet, darling angel that never does anything wrong. And my child is better than you. And my child's going to be the CEO of a big company. And your child is a loser.
Next one, subject, effort recognition. Hi, Coach. While the assignment may not have been fully completed, my child assures me they tried. We value effort over outcome in our home. Is there partial credit available for good intentions? Gratefully, Mom.
No partial credit available. Either you do the work or you don't do the work. Either you do the assignment and do it right and do it in the correct way, or you don't. And if you do it, you get a good grade on it. If you don't, you don't. None of this partial effort, or we value approach, or we value effort over achievement. No, that's all BS. Cut the crap.
Next one. Subject, detention concern. Hi, Coach Phillips. I understand my child received detention for repeated tardiness. However, mornings are a battle for them. Is there an alternative that doesn't involve staying after school? Thank you, Mom.
No. The alternative for staying after school is actually arriving to school on time. And I think mornings are a battle for 90% of the population, but we suck it up.
Hi, Mr. Phillips. We will be taking my son out of school for 2 weeks for a family cruise. Since he will miss class, could you please send all assignments, worksheets, notes, tests, and projects for those 2 weeks ahead of time so we can complete them on the boat? We want him to stay on track. Thank you so much, Mom.
You want your kid to stay on track, maybe keep him in class instead of going on a vacation. The kids have enough in-service days, and they have a hell of a long summer break. You know what you don't get in the real world? A summer break. Minus maybe a few days off of work here and there, and some companies offer time off, but that's beside the point. For the most part, you don't get time off from being an adult. And the kids get all summer off. But, you want your kid to stay. So yeah, as a teacher, I'm gonna make an exception. I'm gonna plan my lesson plan 3 weeks out. So I normally do every Sunday. I normally plan that week, all the lessons and all the plan. But just for you, I'm gonna plan my lesson plan 3 weeks out. I'm gonna give you all the homework and worksheets so that you can do them on the boat. I am not your personal tutor. I don't get paid enough to deal with that and do any of that. I've got hundreds of kids that I teach. I'm not bending over backwards for one of them.
Up first, hello, Mr. Phillips. You assign 20 minutes of reading per night. My daughter goes to bed at 8:30, and between soccer, dinner, showering, and watching one episode of her show, there simply isn't time. Is there any way she could do the reading during class instead? Thanks, Mom.
Oh my. Okay, she gets off of school 4 or 5 maybe, and you're telling me between then and 8:30, which frankly is very early, to be going to bed, there's not 20 minutes? What about the bus ride home? Making excuses for your child instead of the child taking accountability.
Next one. Subject, homework. Good evening, Coach Phillips. My son asked me for help with history homework tonight, and I regret to inform you that I cannot complete it either. Could you please explain question number 7 tomorrow so we both understand it? Thank you, Dad.
Well, if that doesn't show you how stupid society is right there, the parent cannot help the kid with the homework because the parent doesn't know the material themselves. Yeah, because most adults that we're living around are stupid. Or don't remember. More likely don't remember, or just didn't pay attention in school either. I remember most of what I was taught in school.
Next one. Dear PE teacher. Not even my name. My child informed me that during dodgeball he was repeatedly targeted by flying balls. He would like it noted that he signed up for school, not an action movie. If possible, can he do another activity while others play dodgeball? Warmly.
I think that's the
Mom.
perfect note to end this madness. No, your child cannot play a different game because he's scared of flying balls. What a messed up video this was. Very eye-opening, definitely, to see the mindset of some of these parents, some of these enablers, some of these coddlers. This is what happens when you coddle and baby and pamper your child instead of teaching them about life and how life is. We are doomed. But yeah, this I got behind a school bus today, and this school bus stopped and gave every kid driveway service. Now, when I went to school, I had to walk 2 blocks, which I'm not going to complain about, but I'm just going to tell you my story. 2 blocks in the freezing cold, and stand there for 10 minutes just to board the school bus and go to school. Nowadays, you got the coddled, spoiled, pampered, babied, entitled kids. They get driveway service. And not only that, they get dropped off and picked up right at the end of their driveway. Then the school bus goes maybe 500 feet, goes to the next driveway, picks up those kids, goes to the next driveway, and has to stop like 5 or 6 times in 1 block. I had to walk 2 blocks, like I said. I had to walk 2 blocks. And there was 1 bus stop. Now, in 1 block, there's like 5 or 6 bus stops because these kids get driveway service. Because God forbid these kids have to take their little 2 feet and do what God intended and walk a little bit. Also, I stood there in the freezing cold of the winter and waited patiently for my bus. Nowadays, these kids stand in the warmness of their house. And when the bus comes, they run out. Oh, I'm late. Wait for me. I'm running late. They're not late. They're just too damn lazy to stand there in the cold. Oh, because the cold might hurt my little poor precious angel. It's ridiculous. You shouldn't be pampering your kid that he can't take and tolerate a little bit of cold. And the lateness, so that's one, the constant stops. Because God forbid the kid walk 500, because God forbid the kid walks to the next bus stop. So the distance between bus stops. Then you got the waiting. The kids should be standing outside waiting in the cold. We shouldn't be raising soft bitches that can't be out in the cold. Number 3, and the final gripe I have about school children in 2026, is the simple fact that they think that the world revolves around them, and they think that the bus drivers should wait for them because they are late. I see it constantly. Instead of getting there at the scheduled time of early, I always had to get there 10 minutes early. That's what the school district recommended. You get there 10 minutes, so you're scheduled for 7:45, you get there at 7:35. And you wait. You, the student, waits. The bus is not responsible for waiting on you. If you're late, that is your fault, not the bus's fault. You shouldn't make the bus late because they have to wait for your late ass.